leads. Jason, who's our Director of Health, just to say a few words. I know Jason's got to leave for the meeting as well, so trying to get the speeches out before we go into the presentation. Jason.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it's great to be here, and I'm really sorry I can't stay for the evening because I've also got to go to this council meeting. But I did want to pop in. This whole process is so important to us in the council. I think it does so many things. So I've been looking at all of the projects which have been selected for this year and the projects which were selected last year, and they're all amazing, and they all rely on a few different things. They rely on some people coming and proposing some projects and some ideas, and that's a lot of very grassroots activity, a lot of yourselves, local people in the area who've got things they want to make a difference on. It relies on everyone here to come and be part of that deliberative process and come and discuss what they think, what they're passionate about, and what's prioritised for the area. And then there's the challenge of getting them done, and I know that can also be a real challenge. And one of the things that it does, this whole process that it does, that I think is so important, is as well as giving you the opportunity to prioritise spending on the things which you think matter the most, is that it actually gives us a lot of insight as well as to what matters to you. Looking at the projects, a lot of stuff around greening, around trees, around gardens, making the area more livable, stuff about sports facilities in the parks in Warrior Square, and more activities for young people to do, and table tennis. And so coming here and reading this, and to me those things actually, as a Director of Public Health, you know, to me those things are all absolutely vital. Creating spaces where people feel comfortable being out and about, so people aren't isolated in their homes, creating facilities for people to be active. So it's really interesting to come and see these and take that intelligence and that insight back into my job, as well as hoping to kind of really support you to get those projects off the ground. So just want to thank everyone for being part of this process. Look forward to seeing more of these projects coming to fruition. I know sometimes it can be a bit painful getting from the idea to the completed reality, but it's incredibly fulfilling when it happens. And have a great evening. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Jason. I don't know if anyone's got any questions for Jason. I don't want to put Jason right on the spot, but I have. But is there any questions from our residents? Anything on health? Oh, we're all very healthy in Manor Park. Okay. Oh, there's a...
Yeah, hi. Thank you. Good evening. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, everyone. So on a Wednesday, we're here from 10 till 11 with our fitness group. So I was wondering, is that going to be an ongoing project for us so that we remain healthy in this little ward of Ilford? And I have to say, our fitness instructor is absolutely fantastic. And the ladies that we associate with is amazing. And we need to keep fit and moving. So I'm hoping that it's going to continue for a long time.
I'm hoping that's going to continue for a long time.
Yeah, I could kind of answer that. I think we will be able to continue that and all the kind of programs in Manor Park. So, yeah.
I think there was one other question. Maybe. I saw another hand.
So, 1 minute, then this last two questions, and then
we have done Manor Park and it's offered double E12, and then her name is Shona Pollock, lives East Ham, and her name is Manda Wood, lives Boysgate, Essex, and Sunny Patel lives near me, and Elizabeth Booker lives Canning Town, and then I can't go to Newham Council's home address because it's rules. Thank you very much.
thank you, Hussein, for that. Hussein comes to our centre a lot, and he's just mentioned the councillors for here.
I live in a house with no electricity or gas, and I'm freezing. That's why I come out with dressing gown. And the Peabody people call me out. Don't seem to be doing nothing about it. And it's making me worse. And it's, I'm going to end up back in hospital.
Can we follow up on that, please? Because I don't. That's
the officers are aware, and we are following that up. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
I think we're aware of it. Mohammed did come in earlier, and he's kind of explained. We've got the details on that. Any questions related to health?
Thank you very much for this project. I really happy to see this project for the welfare and benefits of the residents. But my one question is there any provision for the prayer area in the project for mosque or something like that?
Sorry,
have you marked any area in the provision in the project for the mosque? Any mosque for prayers?
Well, as the centre, there is a prayer group that uses the space on a Friday.
Yeah, just only Friday.
Yeah. That's if the group comes back to us and they want to kind of use it, but it's an open space for the full community. Yeah. Okay.
Thanks very much.
Okay. Thank you, Jason. I'm going to take my little gizmo out here. We're going to start with the presentation. And I know some of you have been here for our other assemblies, and we've had tea, coffees, and the good old sandwiches, but they've been stuck in the traffic, and they have promised that they were meant to be here at least nearly an hour ago. There it is. Look, give him a round of applause. Look, way! You've stopped the riots. You've stopped the riots. Online as well, if you want to just dunk your biscuits in or anything. But this is the main bits. So we're going to start with a presentation. So welcome everybody to the Manor Park Assembly, and this is our 4th assembly for Manor Park, just to kind of showcase you on the projects, where they're at, just to give them an update. People who don't know me, the good-looking guy with the long hair, my name is Zakir Adam. I'm a neighbourhood area manager for Manor Park and East Ham area, and that's covering the 2 libraries, which is Manor Park, East Ham, and also our community centre, which is Jack Cornwell and Aldersbrook Community Centre. So schedule for today, and you might be thinking, oh, we're a bit behind. So we've had our talks from Councillor McLean and Jason from Public Health. We'll be doing the presentation, looking at the projects. We'll be giving you an update on where we're at, and also doing a breakout to get a celebratory change around what you thought of the projects, where they're at, and then give you a feedback on the next cycle, what Councillor McLean mentioned at the start, to see how that will run for the next 2 years. And then the working group, we'll look out for new working group members for the Manor Park, and some working group members are here today as well. Just put your hand up, working group members. The two of our Theo and Ramiz are here. Thank you very much. Again, I'll be putting them on the spot, so we'll be hearing from you later in our presentation. Just some housekeeping and some guidelines. I know it's like school rules, so listen to each other, be respectful. You don't have to agree, share what comes to mind. This meeting will be recorded, and pictures. We've got Samantha with a camera taking pictures, so please let us know if you don't want you to be in the picture. We could kind of put a cross around that. and above all, enjoy being part of shaping the community neighbourhood assembly. So what to expect from today? You'll hear from the projects that you voted for. Celebrate the change made to the neighbourhood since 2021. So we're not just looking at projects for 2021, 22 to 23, but also for previous cycle a year as well for 21 and 22. Share how the project have impacted your community and on you, and find out how to get involved in the next cycle, and leave your thoughts and comments before you go. So you must have seen this cycle picture number of times throughout, number of meetings, number of assemblies as well. So this is our final assembly, and as you can see, from March, April onto the first assembly back in May 2022, we opened the applications, we recruited for volunteers, we looked at generating ideas, and then kind of in June the working group shortlisted projects by the working group. We then had a second assembly in July to look at which projects kind of going forward for the voting stage. And in between that, from July to September, it was about projects getting a information workshop, getting clinics, having and you know, looking at the kind of announcement, what projects went through from the voting round. In November, we just gone, we had a update on the projects where they were at, and how they're getting delivered, and then opportunities for volunteering to be part of that project as well. And through to November to February, just kind of projects delivering and how they're kind of getting on. And today we're here to showcase and looking at some evaluations for the next cycle. So our story so far, which I've gone through that picture, the cycle you've seen in the previous slide. So you could choose priorities in 2021. Projects were delivered in 2021 to 22. New ideas were put forward in May 2022, and £100,000 was available in each neighbourhood. So whole of Newham and Manor Park as our area were allocated £100,000. You voted for your favourite projects in July on the Newham Core Career website, and successful projects were voted and announced in September 2022. Projects started November, October, November time. Manor Parks, again, this is our fourth assembly, but we've had 3 community assemblies. 179 people have attended our assembly in total. 248 people signed up to the Newham Core Career website. And it's great to kind of see that. And that's something new for the council, being online as well, and accessing more people to be engaging through the website, through the Core Career website. We had 12 applications came through in total. 8 were successful applications, and 230 people voted online and on paper voting as well. And these were our priorities. These were chosen back in 2021. Greener public spaces, to increase our football and footfall in our parks, in our open spaces, and create a community where people look at their health and things. Environment and community recycling, to look at issues around litter picking, for example, the environment, fly tipping, and education on recycling in itself, and then sustainable development, nature, and biodiversity. We've got the priorities on each of the tables if you wanted to have a read through that. So just to give you an update on 2 projects which are not finished from the first cycle, which is in 2021-22. and that's plant street trees on Romford Road. And we had our resident Jenny Duval, who originally put the idea in 2021. And this wasn't complete due to various different reasons of the locations of where the trees were, and a number of checks had to be done by our highways team. But after she met with our highways team last summer, the proposal idea changed. And we took that back to the working group to look at that. And the proposal was then to install greenery planters on Colton Road. The designs have been produced, and this work will start in the next month, along with the current highways work being taken place in the same location. So we expected this to hopefully finish by an end of the month at least. Again, another project, trees for Romford Road, a bit similar, a lot of trees in Manor Park. We do like our tree projects. Now, this was site visits been conducted back in November and in December 2022. 7 locations are identified. We've been told by our highways team that these locations are okay. They're viable sites. There's nothing underneath the pavements or underneath such as utilities or anything like that. So that's been kind of signed off. This work will start in the next few weeks, and this is the time to start planting. This is the planting season. So hopefully we should have this completed by March 2023. And the last project is that this is again a project from 2021, a living wall across, opposite Manor Park Station. There's still ongoing conversations with Transport for London, and the conversation has been done with our highways team constantly. So there's a lot of investigation, and we still need a big response back from a commitment from TfL that if this project could go ahead. This project lead been notified who put the original proposal in, so we are in constant conversation with the project lead, and we'll give you an update on it when if this happens or what status we are at with. So we look at 2022, 23. I'm going to bring up Kulsuma, who's our senior officer, just to talk on few projects. Some projects lead were unable to attend. So this is a list of all the projects for this year. You've got, again, 10 more trees, Manor Park Community Centre table tennis and outdoor table tennis, a fly tipping greenery on Carlisle Road. The flat pickers are here. Put your hands up. Yes, there they are. They were giving you some information about how their projects are running. Also with Plasher Park Community Nature Trail, Peter's here to give an update around that. And then we'll be giving you with more details about the bike hangers and the projects outside, which the play area and the Warrior Square Sports Mugger. So I'll pass you on to Kulsuma, just to say on 2 projects. That's what I've been told.
Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight. So I'm going to just give you a brief update on the 10 more trees project. So the budget for that is 5,000. We've had site visits already conducted for this, and I've put 17 on there, but 10 locations have been identified, and they are new and existing locations. The pits are currently being scanned and investigated, and for any underground obstructions. So that's the current update on that. We have got the locations listings if anyone's interested to know where they are, okay? The Manor Park table tennis, yeah. So initially this project was refused due to the tight space and because of the size of the table tennis. It has been revisited since then, and the parks team and the highways team are both involved. Still a lot of negotiations taking place, with the possibility of the bin and the bench being removed back, which means there's additional costs. So there's a lot of negotiations happening currently on those the bin and the bench. Okay. The flag tipping greenery on Carlisle Road. I mean, the designs have been produced. It's literally just getting the quotes from the contractors and getting it all finalized. The sites will be visited by the contractors as well. And then hopefully they will do some investigation on the underground to see again if there's any obstructions before any digging work starts, okay? Any questions on these projects so far? No? Okay.
Thank you, Kulsuma. So we'll just hear from Mark and Caroline. They'll give an update on the flat pickers project. So guys, you've got to stand here. That's what I've been told. There's a mark here. It's like TV work here. There we go. Yes.
Oh, right. Yes, we have got a presentation to go with it. There, right, okay. So we are I've got a prompt sheet here which says we're the Wanstead Flats Pickers Collective, which actually is a title I wasn't familiar with, but anyway, we've always just said we're the litter pickers on Wanstead Flats. I'm sure you all know Wanstead Flats, great local area, huge local area, attracts lots of people day and night, year round, day and night. And it also attracts a fair amount of litter. So a few years ago, in fact, it was 7 years ago, we started, in fact, our neighbour Sarah Shaw, who can't be here tonight because she's actually got a work event this evening. It was Sarah whose initiative started it and got neighbours together. Right, okay. Well, actually, there's lots of writing on these slides, but basically, our aim is to really get together as a community to do something, not to be victims of the litter anymore, to do something about actually getting rid of it. And every month, on the last Sunday of the month, we meet outside the Golden Fleece pub. You're very welcome to join us. It's membership is free, and there's lots of litter picking to do. So anytime you'd like to come along, please do. So we were out yesterday, about 25 people, despite the weather, it wasn't that warm. And we collected 45 bags. And Caroline, you've got a...
I bagged a Christmas tree.
Christmas tree. She gets the prize for the most unusual litter this year so far. Mind you, she's got to go some to beat the motorbike, which we did pick up one year.
And a turtle shell.
Oh, the turtle shell, yes. Gas mask.
We've not quite got a body yet, but you know,
no,
who knows?
That could be coming. Lots of mattresses. I mean, we do have, there are problems. There is a lot of drug misuse on the flats. It's an open space. It's not policed very closely by the City of London. They've got a big forest to cover. So there are a lot of social problems too. But we want to focus on the positive, and we want to make the flats look as attractive as possible, because the more attractive they look, the more people will come and the fewer social problems there will be. We're always in communication with the City of London, who manage Epping Forest. They came today to collect all the 45 bags that we picked up yesterday, and they come each month. So we're in close communication with them. I think that really is it. So what are we doing with the money?
We are we're buying more litter picking sticks. So we provide you with a bag and a litter pick stick when you get there. And we're also buying rings which keep your litter bag open so that you can actually get your litter in a bit more easily. And we're buying a place to store it, because at the moment, poor Sarah stores all of our stuff in her cellar. So once a month on a Sunday, we troop in gamely to her cellar and pull out all the litter picking sticks. It's actually really a fun thing to do. I took my twin grandchildren on it yesterday and I had an absolutely wonderful time picking up litter. And you know, it's the one time I find that you are truly disappointed if there is no litter around, because you come back with a half full bag and it feels bad. So it's a lovely community event, but it does actually, which has kind of boosted community in our area. And I think that the crucial thing that we would like to do is to kind of have more equipment to bring more people in. So as I say, you're invited. We advertise it on Twitter. Please come. Last Sunday of every month, we're there without fail, except at Christmas. That's us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Just if you want to just stay here quickly, if people got any questions. I know we've got a question just at the back.
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. I had with my son 1.5 years ago, and it was quite fun.
Yeah.
And I felt proud and happy also to be part of your team.
Yeah.
So it was good. My son asked me, so we went together, and it was nice. So I think it's good that other people can help as well.
Absolutely.
So well done.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I mean, that as well, I think we're going to be doing a litter pick in Little Ilford ward this weekend through the Great Estate Project idea. And this is something that the residents wanted. And obviously speaking to you guys, they've looked at the project, what's going on, but it's how easy is it to kind of set up, and what do you guys need?
Very easy.
Yeah.
It's very, I mean, we did have the City of London to help us. Yes, I think they help us. Usually they help us to provide the first litter pickers, the sticks and the bags and the gloves. And that's it. That's all you need. And then you need a lot of enthusiasm. It's a very basic sort of project to organise. You really don't need sort of very much. And get it out on social media. We advertise it on the street, actually. Probably we shouldn't do it because Newham Council probably would ban us from doing it if they knew it was going on, but we don't know it's going on. We put little posters up on the trees along our road and a couple of other roads, and we get a lot of people that way. And yesterday we got lots of new people turned up, so yeah, please come along. It's fun, and if you're doing one here, just take part. It's such fun. You meet lots of people that way. And it's no commitment. You can do 5 minutes, you can do an hour and a half, whatever you want.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with everything that Mark said. And I would say, if you do it once, do it again. Because I think it's the regularity of our kind of pick that has really kind of built over the years that community and the knowledge that you can come back. So I actually think it's really important to have a store of litter pickers and somebody that's prepared to put them out and count them back, which is all we do. Just a tiny bit of organisation goes a really long way. I'm hoping that eventually all the litter picks in Newham will join up, and then they'll join up with the litter picks in Redbridge, and somehow or another we will be a little bit more litter free, which will be nice.
Brilliant. I know there's a lot of work that you do in Manor Park as well. And I know you're kind of the link with One Step Flat, but a lot of the work is done in Manor Park to deliver.
We don't discriminate.
Yeah, they're delivering this in Manor Park. Any other questions for? Just get the mic for you.
Thanks. Approximately how much of the £3,000 and odd pounds is left? After getting your litter pickers and whatever, so how much is left, and how long will that last for, do you think?
At the moment, you mean how much is left? Do you mean how much we've got left out of the budget?
Yes, out of the 3,000 and
yeah.
Well, we haven't actually spent anything yet because we haven't actually had the funding yet. So,
oh right, okay.
So, but well, we've actually invested in some of the equipment ourselves. But there will be, I mean, when we get funding, what will there'll be, yes, it's the whole budget, isn't it?
Yeah, we've budgeted to spend everything,
Don't
just
have the
on
numbers in
equipment.
front of
The
me.
key bit of equipment that we're missing is a storage locker to put our bags and our various bits of equipment in, Sarah has volunteered her front garden to keep that storage locker, but we're going to spend a reasonable amount of money on it because it's got to be pretty secure, because the road we live on, there's an amount of antisocial behaviour down there, and you've got to have, if you're going to have to store something in front garden, it's really got to be secure. So it goes with that, and then the extra pickers, etc. So, but we don't think we will need to come back for more funding. We think that will do it for us for a long time. It's more about human resources, really. People.
Okay,
coming.
thanks for that. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Any other questions? Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. So I think I forgot colleagues online. Amelie, is there any questions online for?
I haven't got any questions from the chat.
Okay.
Hello.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
We got someone. Oh yeah.
Hello. Yeah. I wanted to question something about Little Ilford Park. Is it possible at this stage or not?
I think we're going through the project themselves. We could come at the end, just if it's about the parks itself.
Okay, right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So just to update you on a project from our working group proposal, and these were some bike hangers in the Manor Park in the 3 ward areas of Little Ilford, Plashet and Manor Park itself. You might just be thinking, well, 4 areas have been finalised currently, but there's been a lot of work back and forwards done with this. We've had a number of meetings and 11 sites was identified initially in all of the 3 wards. And these sites were then sent to our highways team, and these came back non-viable, unfortunately, for various different reasons. One was because it was taking out a parking space, or it's on an existing parking space. So there's a lot more consultation needs to be done for that, and there's a huge kind of delay. So you've got to do the consultation with the residents, the businesses, and etc. So there's been a delay, would have been for that. So we worked with our housing team, and we looked at some housing estates where residents have asked for bike hangers to be installed. And we kind of identified 2 in Warrior Square, which is around here, one in Snoresville Estate, and not Hatchway Crescent, is Hathaway Crescent. So we've identified that. But today we will be doing a consultation with residents around that, because what we don't want to have is having bike hangers and there's not people kind of using it, and then it's waste of money, but it's also an eyesore as well if no one's kind of using it and things. But what we want to do is just ask you guys as well if there are spaces, or if there's an interest for a bike hanger where you are, to get in touch with us or let the consumer know, and we could do a site visit with our highways team to look at how is it viable, is it okay to have it there, and things like that. So we could kind of do that. So if there are anyone who is interested for that, please get in touch with us. Just let consumer know to kind of do that, and we can have a further conversation in regards to that. So we've got two projects, as I mentioned earlier. We did have someone from our parks team to give a little more detailed update. So Warrior Square, which we know on our right-hand side with the sports cage and also the good old swings and our play equipment just outside here. If you come in the afternoon, after school, this playground is absolutely chocker. The young families come and use it. It's absolutely, the footfall is absolutely fantastic. I mean, I was here last Friday and it was like, weather weren't great, but at least the sun was out for a while. but it was absolutely buzzing, absolutely buzzing. It's good that the working group put this proposal in to kind of have a little improvement and new equipment for the play area and also for our sports cage. We went to our working group, and one of the ideas was £20,000 could only, if it's just for the equipment, could only take you so far. And we've been talking to our parks team, who looked at putting the money in with the levelling up fund, the love money, as we call it. And that has a bigger amount of money, and this love money was awarded for this area, and you could, the benefits would be much more. You could do the floor sizing, you'll have much more equipment, the painting would be better, etc. So we're working with our parks team, and they've also put in a bid with the Football Foundation, with the play zones as well, which they're looking to have that kind of, it's looking like I think they're going to be awarded for that. So there's extra money for the improvement for the play equipment and our sports cage out there. There will be a resident consultation that will begin soon. We're hopefully by middle or end of March, which we'd like to invite you guys and have a say on the type of equipment you would require outside, or the type of flooring, the basketball hoops, or anything like that. So I think that the wider work, there's a larger benefit towards it. It won't be completed by end of March. There's still some processes to kind of do, but I think the money will be well spent, and we'll bring someone in from a parks team to kind of give a bit more updates and a bit more details on that for you. I'd like to invite Peter Morton to give a detailed information on our nature trail project. You don't need to run, Peter, it's all right.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I can't remember what we put on the slide now, but something like that. Yeah, we're still working on this project. There's been a lot of meetings with parks and to sort of figure out what we can and can't do, and it's been a really sort of positive process. There's been I think it's still online if you want to join in. There's an online consultation questionnaire about what things you're looking for in Plashet Park. I think, we'll have it available somewhere if you still want to take part in that conversation. We've done quite a lot of workshops with Kensington Primary School with the children there who've been helping us and looking at how we design the nature trail, and they've been brilliant. They've come up with some characters that are going to sort of populate the booklet that explains what's in the trail. I'm trying to remember the names. One of them's I think Ronaldo the parakeet, and we're going to get a local designer, one of them from the youth zones, to maybe design for the booklet. So there's a lot of I mean, the main thing is we're trying to get the children as engaged as they can with their environment and nature, and have a real sense of ownership of their park, because they all live nearby. And it's also, there's going to be a tree planting starts on the 23rd of March with the school, and they're planting an orchard which is going to have a storytelling, kind of outdoor storytelling area in there. So it's all really exciting. I'm not sure whether we're going to finish quite by the end of March, because nature is holding us back now. There are certain things we can't plant until it's the right time. So maybe we have to plant some stuff in June, July. But again, we're sort of taking advice from parks on that. We don't want to plant stuff that isn't going to grow. So, but it's really exciting. And like I say, we're hoping that it's going to have an ongoing community engagement. Oh, Alex is here. She could probably tell you about it more than me. But yeah, it's been the really nice thing has been the engagement with the school. Alex, do you want to come and, you've just literally taken your coat off. But Alex has been working unbelievably hard to make all this happen. So I think she's been amazing, really. But so yeah, if nothing else, I want to say thanks to Alex for doing all the hard work.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm not entirely sure. I'm really sorry I'm so late. I've just come from work. I'm not entirely sure where you are. Just give an update. Oh, okay. So we are. That's the logo. Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Okay. So yes, so we have. If you told them about the planting day.
Yeah. That's
okay.
just on that now.
Okay. Right. Brilliant. Sorry, everyone. Yeah. So we have arranged a planting. We had to rearrange a planting day because we got snowed off. And so we are planning to have a planting day at the end of March, which we're hoping. Well, the Year 5s will kind of come along to that, and we'll be doing some kind of nature-based activities as well as planting the trees. And I think Peter was just saying as well that some of the things that we had planned have unfortunately been kind of pushed back because of planting times being missed. But that's, you know, that's life, isn't it? It happens. So, so I'm not entirely sure what else. So yeah. So we've got our very kindly, we had somebody help us design a logo, which hopefully will kind of bring together the project. And we're looking for people who might be interested in being involved in kind of creating or writing kind of trails that might be downloadable at some point, to encourage people to kind of move around the park and start thinking a little bit more about nature in their local area. So yeah, thank you. Thanks so much. I just
want to quickly add that we're hoping it's going to be an ongoing project. That basically the booklet and the stuff around it will enable children and families to sort of have an ongoing relationship with the park. And yeah, so it's an ongoing conversation. But yeah, any questions?
Any questions for Peter and Alex? Can I let them off lightly? Does anyone want to be part of the project or volunteer? Yeah.
Are you talking about Plashet Park?
Someone online.
Are you talking about Plashet Park?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're okay. Yeah. I wanted to talk about Lilford Park. Okay. So when the
Little Ilford Park, yeah, hopefully there'll be something happening there as well. I'm sure the council will follow
that. Just wanted to ask, do you think there's a possibility of including the project with schools around the area, so potentially they could bring classes to the park and go through a trail and a better education on the nature around the park?
Yeah, we're already doing that. So we've already been doing workshops, and we've been working with Plashet School, and we're also we're beginning to talk to not Plashet, but Kensington School. We're also beginning to talk to Plashet School about a potential lottery heritage project, not related to Nature Trail, but I mean it's all related to the area, and we're trying to connect the park, and because the park and the library are very connected. They were, so it's about kind of getting people an understanding of the sort of natural heritage and the heritage of the whole area. So yeah, it's very much that's what we're trying to do. Yeah.
If you've got kind of schools in mind, so I reached at the beginning of the project, I reached out to all of the schools that were around kind of the park, and Plashet and Kensington were the ones that came back to us in the first instance. But that's not to say that other schools aren't welcome to be involved. So if you've got ideas of other people, or there are links that you have with other schools, then just let us know, and we'll contact them, because it would be lovely to have as many people involved as possible.
Yeah, we're also looking to try and develop a mural project with some of the schools as well, but it's as I say, it's an ongoing project. I think we'll be trying to kind of keep that conversation going.
Brilliant. Any other questions for anybody? And if anyone wants to get involved, who do they contact?
I mean, probably the easiest thing is just to pop into the cafe and just let somebody in the cafe at Applecart in the Park know, and just give us either an email or a phone number, and we'll get in touch. But yeah, I mean, do that, because we'd love people to be involved.
Everyone aware of the cafe in Central Park, Plashet Park? Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Cheers. So you must have been bored of listening to my voice throughout now, and it's a bit more about you guys getting your comments, getting a bit more details about what you've kind of heard on some of the updates. On your table, you've got priorities and a map. So you've got maps on here on the side. You've got you could take a walk to look at the projects, get the kind of updates. But what you have is go to the map of your neighborhood and see the projects that have kind of taken place. There post-it notes on your table, and there'll also be a facilitator on your table as well. And write how the assembly projects have changed the place you live in, with having it impacted you personally. Place the project's notes alongside a specific project, or at the top or the bottom of his general kind of comments. On Zoom, for residents online, you'll get a link that you'll be able to kind of tap into for our Jamboard, and you'll see the same thing through it as well, through the Jamboard, and doing the same thing. Facilitator will be Emily, who'll be doing the facilitating online. So you've got 20 minutes. In fact, let's give it 25 minutes, just because the food came late. And if you want to get your sandwiches, get a drink or anything, and then we'll come back and just kind of get some more feedback from this. Okay? From that site, what you're talking about. And on the opposite side, the greenery is still there.
Yes, a local resident deals with that.
Yeah, so that's still there, but where it's been identified where the site is, the bollards will be taken. And what they're doing currently, just looking at the utilities just underneath there, and just checking out if it's okay with Thames Water, and just getting that scan report. But you're right, I mean, it's quite a tight kind of corner, and I think that's where a lot of the fly tipping does come at night or in the morning, where people just dump their bags and stuff, and that's the way to kind of prevent of it, to kind of do that. But the bollards won't be taken away. We've looked at the design, and we've been promised by Highways that won't be taken away.
I'm not certain the greenery will not have car tyre marks in it.
I mean, it's quite a high footpath as well, where it's thinking, but they have promises that bollards not going to be taken away, and obviously that planter, when it does kind of go in, that greenery, it's got to be looked after as well, and that will be the responsibility of the project lead who's putting the project proposal into us.
Another thing, the living wall opposite Manor Park Station, if that's going to be all flowers and greenery and everything, do you not think that that will just be somewhere for the plastic bottles and the tin cans to be put?
I mean, they've got to look at that design, how that is. I think that'll be the challenging bit. There's always with any projects that if it's not looked after, and kind of people then start putting tinned cans or even cigarette butts or whatever you kind of call it, but the design has to be right. The design, what they kind of do with that. And it's that kind of the love of that wall, or when the living wall kind of puts to kind of together, it's taken on by the community.
Just one last thing, and I will promise I will shut up, Kusuma.
You never do. Go on, Leslie.
With the money, the £200,000, any chance of getting some bollards along Station Road?
Well, that's if you've got that idea, then that's be a proposal you could put in for the next application for that. Anyone else before we move on to Caroline?
Hi, and what I want to know is if you've got a really successful project that you funded, will the council take on rolling that out potentially? I'm thinking about, and I know what you mean about Carlisle Road. I know that area, but there are lots of other spots on the Woodgrange estate and in other estates where you've got just a fly tipping bonanza, like it's just a place that gets fly tipped. And if you find solutions is it down to the residents to say we want this solution here, or will you be pooling that intelligence as a council to sort of say that might be a solution and taking it forward? So it comes out of this pot but goes into another pot which is about creating nicer communities for local residents.
I think you're right. I mean, it's looking at what we have as projects, ideas now, and looking at the kind of impact it's had, the benefits of it as a community, and the impact it has on the environment. It could kind of look at as a case study, number one, and then number two, if it's had a massive impact on it and a reduction in fly tipping, for example, reduction in kind of litter, that could be looked at by services to kind of roll out and possibly start putting those ideas more to kind of use. It could be. I mean, it's not in a plan in any way, but it could be, and this is where we work as a community assembly to kind of look at ideas. And sometimes we may, as officers or the council, have ideas, but the better idea comes from the residents who kind of find those solutions of some of the problems we have in Newham.
I'm just thinking about cross-fertilisation, like Manor Park, isn't that different Forest Gate?
Yeah, I mean, they look at for different areas. I mean, they would kind of look at, I mean, we had projects where last year, for example, through gardens, community gardens, how some were developed, how some were led and things. And it's kind of learning from a project in Forest Gate that they kind of set it up in East Ham or Green Street, for example. And it's about kind of learning how they kind of done that. And it's kind of setting up more community gardens across Newham. Yeah. Anyone online? Emily?
Yeah, Laura is going to give some feedback. Is that still all right, Laura?
Yeah, thanks, Emily. Yeah, I guess our feedback was largely kind of reviewing the kind of projects that have been completed and just having a bit of a chat about the difference it's made, actually. So we were talking about the trees on Romford Road, that'll be very welcome, and also the Warrior Square refurbishments, and just praising how great the flat pickers are. And we were talking about hopefully it could lead to kind of new projects being put through the community assembly so that it's a bit of a ripple effect. I think that was it.
Thank you very much, Laura. I hope you're feeling better as well. Okay. It's gonna. So this is the IT bit. Chris, I thought Chris was gonna be ready. There's always that glitch or ditch or whatever you want to call it. That's Chris. But did everyone enjoy the food? Good sandwiches? Luckily they got here on time. Do you want to put that? Okay, Kalsuma. Okay. So just to give you information just on the community assemblies for the next cycle, and Councillor Charlie McLean introduced it quickly for you guys. But just to give you a feedback on the assemblies by attending the focus groups and responding to the surveys, your feedback has helped us shape the next cycle of community assemblies. And and some of the stuff that came out from our feedback sessions, that 89% of residents that attended the assembly felt more connected to the local area after attending the assemblies, and that aspect participating in the decisions, putting in applications and voting, for example. One resident said Newham has chosen to listen to residents. And from that, what Councillor McLean said is 1.6 million of allocated to Newham's community neighbourhood pots, 24 local priorities co-produced by residents, and 157 projects voted for by Newham residents, and over 16,500 residents engaged, including 5,000 residents engagement created by community assembly projects themselves. So you said more people from all communities need to hear about the community assembly and participate. So we've refreshed the communications and create more outreach to increase participation and diversity. So it's making sure that we reach out to every resident in our diverse neighbourhoods and to kind of get them involved in the decision making as well. Community assemblies need to be more accessible for all residents, and for this we're doing the hybrid assemblies, so making sure that people who can't attend in person are able to kind of join us online in the decision, and also on the Newham Co-Create website by voting systems and you know, having the paper votes for residents who are unable to use computers, for example. You said that 1 year is too short to come up with project ideas and votes and deliver all the projects. And I think this will be, you know, a number of project leads would kind of say yes to this, that it is a short period of time from when the decision is made, when the voting has happened, and the delivery aspect of it. So what was been recommended, that the extent of the community assembly cycle will be a 2-year cycle with a full year focus on project delivery itself. So it's not just like a couple of months to deliver the project. It gives it a longer period where you're able to kind of plan, deliver, and execute that properly. You said more support is needed for residents and local organisations leading on projects, and we provide a 2-year programme of project clinics in our libraries, in centres like these, and again at all stages to support you from start to finish. From the application stage of having an idea, coming to talk to us from an idea, getting it kind of voted, going on the Co-Create website, you know, how do you deliver it? How do you work with our services if it needs kind of permissions or anything like that? So the full kind of support will be given from myself and Kulsuma for Manor Park and other offices as well. So this is the new cycle. I won't go through all of it, but it'll start in May 2023 and finishing in May or March 2025. I might have a beard and a long hair by then as well, but it gives you a full cycle of what will it be. Again, starting in May, from the application stage, generating the idea, looking at the voting stage, but also that period of 1 year to kind of work on your project so you can kind of deliver that. So if you want more details about your feedback, for those kind of done the feedback focus groups, there's a link for the report that you could kind of read a bit more in your details, or bedtime reading if you want to. This time around is to talk a bit more around our working group. You know, they're instrumental, and you know, we want to have more working group, more local people to be part of Manor Park working group. And as a working group member, you represent the diverse views of the community. It's not just about council officers or the council itself making that decision. It's about you making that decision and having a voice on how projects go, how they are kind of voted, the scoring. Use your knowledge, you shortlist projects to make sure that they bring positive impact to your neighborhood, oversee the projects and monitor them to see the challenges they have, how the projects are kind of running, and what they said in the application, are they delivering it in that way. They're also supporting local residents and organizations in the delivery of the projects and help shape your local area. Before, I know we've only got 15 minutes left, but there are working group member Theo. I did say I'm going to pull you up on it. Ramiz just want to come out. And Laura's online as well. But Laura, if you're okay, do we need to? Yeah. If it's okay, just these guys here been absolutely fantastic. They've been from the first time from April all the way now to our meetings and visiting projects and kind of having their kind of insights been fantastic. So I just want to, first of all, let's all give them a round of applause for all their kind of hard work. But just to say a few words, how's it been working with me and Kulsuma? Difficult. I knew that was coming. But tell us your experience. I mean, we want to get more working group members for Manor Park, and just tell us your kind of experience of why you joined to be a working group member.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Theo, and when the opportunity came last year, to partake in this, I can't remember if you were the one I first spoke with, just to find out more about what was required, the time commitment, and I found that it was something I could do, and I signed up, and the onboarding process was seamless, was very smooth, and when we got together, the support from the team was fantastic, and it gave me real joy to be able to give something back to the community. I live locally, by the way, and just recently to be able to see the result of our input, to be able to come around to Warrior Square and see the improvement in there. It just gives me joy, to see that from committing 1 hour a month, to see that outcome, I think is fantastic. So if you're there thinking, whether to join or not, I would say go for it, 100%.
Thank you very much, Theo.
Hello everyone. My name is Ramiz. I'm a local resident as well, based in Manor Park. Unlike Theo, I joined kind of halfway between the cycle. So I wasn't initially around at the very early planning stages of most of the projects, but it was really good to still be a part of it and still share my opinion and views regarding the projects. And it was a great privilege to be a part of it, and likewise as well to see it fruition into something really good for the community. So I would encourage everyone to take part. It's really been a great experience. You all dedicate a few hours a month, but yeah, you're a pretty vital part of all these projects. You get to know them intimately as well. So yeah, I really enjoyed the experience. And Zach, I wish you had invited us up before the food. Now I have to breathe in and try. So yes.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, guys. Laura.
Zach, Laura's gone from
okay.
the meeting. She had to go, yeah.
What part did you see been improved?
Well, the play area, and and I must say,
so that's one of the projects that were put by the working group as an improvement, and we've given an update earlier around that.
Oh, sorry. No. I mean the play area, yeah.
It's one aspect of it, the play area. They can. Okay.
would like to know what play areas will go around. Because we have a play area near to one of our community centers. I happen to be the one managing the center. But we have so many things happening there, but I don't know what's happening. Maybe you're not opening your eyes wide enough.
I think these guys are working group members and they're residents, and they're giving up their time to be on the working group. So I think he was just giving an example of one of the projects from the assembly.
I think part of being a part of the working group is that we are also in touch with people of the community as well. So I myself, I'm based on First Avenue. I know I'm part of the Neighbourhood Watch Alliance amongst that area. So I've actually spoken to a few people about the tree developments. Not really sure about the Warrior Square developments, but other sort of the bike sheds as well. So having sort of that engagement and that relationship with the local community has sort of allowed me to share their opinion as well. But I mean, likewise, if you have any like sort of concerns or even ideas, you're welcome to join, or you can even communicate with one of us as well and sort of say, listen, I think this would be a really good idea. You think you can pass it on or propose it. And yeah, I mean, anything to develop the area, I think we'll be very happy to see. So, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Another round of applause for these guys. Okay, we're just going to... give Chris one job and he can't do it. Okay. So you've heard from the current working group. If you want to become part of our working group, the applications will open from March 6th. To register interest now, contact the neighbourhood team on cn.manorpark@newham.gov.uk, or you could call us on 0203 373 0858, or come and speak to us at the back, any of the team members. Let's get your details. You got Mary and someone just come back from holiday. And you got Consumer as well. So just get in touch with us and we'll be able to give you a bit more details around that. Not sure if this is right for you. You might be thinking, well, do I join the working group or not? You could, join the support clinic, and that's going to be running on Wednesday, the 15th of March, and that's for everybody, not just for the Manor Park residents, but it'll be people from across Newham. And it'll be all the working groups from previously, but they'll be able to give you a bit more details about what their experience has been like and things like that. So that's March 15th, that's 6 to 7, and we'll give you a bit more details on that, and that'll be online for you. Just some other updates through our regeneration team that they've done. I don't know if you remember the Shape Newham back 2 to 3 years ago, just before the pandemic. And we've got a project on Romford Road, not too far from the library. It's on the bus shelter, and there will be a light installation. And this was kind of designed by residents themselves. You could get a bit more details on that, and there's some information outside in regards to this as well, with a QR code that you could look into your phones directly. Some of you maybe, is anyone here from Great Estates? The Great Estate project, some of you may be involved in it, and this is specifically for the Little Ilford area around the Warrior Square. So understanding how neighbourhoods shape the lives of residents with them, what factor supports residents to be happy, healthy, safe and thrive, and could use this to improve health and well-being of our kind of residents. And that's kind of bringing different services together third sector partners to kind of work together to look at some solutions, what can be done. And some of the interesting things that kind of came up from here was around communication and how not just the council, but how everyone communicates with each other. And, you know, we talk about kind of leaflets, the social media, things around kind of, there's a lot of things kind of happening and developed, but a list, like a calendar, a timeline calendar of upcoming events and things, so how people could kind of get involved in that. And one of the big things that kind of came out is residents wanted more of a litter pick, and this is the first one being done on Saturday, the 3rd or 4th, is it? 4th. 4th of March at 10 o'clock, just outside the centre, will be the meeting point and things. So there's a leaflet. If you are interested, just to come down and be part of that would be kind of fantastic. You could also get some more information on this. You could contact myself and Kulsuma, but the project lead for this is Kieran at our transformation team. This is a project you may know about. It's just next to, just opposite the station. It's a piece of land, and it's a project that's going to be run by the Manor project, who looking to co-design with residents. We're looking at that space on how it could be a community space, and they're just looking at the aspect of the design of it. If you want more information on that, again, yeah, this is it. To find out about this project and the delivery, there's a steering group being just kind of put together, and there'll be a display of it on 6th of March at Jack Cornwell and the Manor Park Library. The details of Avital and her information is at the bottom if you want a bit more details or even meet up with the project leads to kind of do that. Just some upcoming events. As we talked about, the litter pick this Saturday, March the 4th, on Saturday 10 till 12 o'clock. There's International Women's Day at the library, 8th of March, 12 to 3. Easter half term as well at the library, so there's more information around that. And the King Coronation Garden Party, we're going to be, we're planning on doing it outside Warrior Square, using the centre and doing just in the plans of the, we've set the date for the 10th of May, just after the bank holiday. And it is kind of invite all the community, the residents, young people's families and stuff. So there'll be kind of music, there'll be other entertainment, and consumers planning that. So if you're not happy with the planning, please let her know. There's also grants as you as residents could apply for the coronation as well. And they're just been putting out, and you could use these grants to up to £500 to hold a street party, for example. And, you know, it's about celebrating the King's coronation. So there is £500 and the funding is out now that you can kind of apply for that. If you're looking to kind of close the road, I think they look to be flexible to kind of do that, but, you know, apply. We want more applications from Manor Park than anywhere other areas. So put your applications in for that. There's also ASPA's funding, and I know Kulsuma has been sending this around to everyone by emails previously last month, but their funding pot stops tomorrow, their deadline's tomorrow. But it's a great, if you're an organisation and if you've got an idea or something, you know, pots of up to £7,500 you could apply for. And it's a great building for projects who are now want a capacity build and kind of move on to the next stage. You could apply for this fund. The only thing is it ends tomorrow. So get onto the website, put a bid in, and stay up all night and don't watch Coronation Street or anything. So this is just a poster that you'll start seeing a lot with the grants for the King's Coronation. There's some posters outside, but also you'll see these in our libraries and stuff. But go to the website, you'll be able to get a bit more details, download the application and fill that application out as well. International Women's Day at the library, and that's Kulsuma and Shanti who's leading on this project at the library. So please come and visit us. And this is a project from last year. This is our Manor Park Community Garden, who want this space and are opening the space for anything that you want to do, having a kind of a meetup, or you want to use it for yoga, for example, and stuff. So it's much more kind of inclusive to bring in everyone together. They've done a lot of work around there. Go and visit. I think it's a brilliant project that they're kind of doing. It's open on some of the days I forgot, but please go and visit them. And they're kind of very welcoming for that. These are your counsellors, and they have their surgeries as well. So if there is pressing issues, you want to raise some of the staff, it is worth going to speak to your counsellors to kind of do that. I mean, unfortunately, they were unable to attend today. As I explained, there was a full council meeting that they had to attend, kind of attend for that. So just to say a massive thank you again. And before we go, add your thoughts and comment on the reflection wall, which is at the back there. Fill in the feedback form and get help signing up for the Newham Co-Create to stay in touch about the community assembly. But a massive, massive thank you for giving up your time for this evening. It's 8 o'clock dot on. I thought I'm going to finish earlier with 5 minutes over. Chris just keeps looking at me. But thank you very much. If you want any further chat or anything like that you want to catch up on, please get in touch with us. People online, let's wave to everyone online as well. Thank you very much for attending, guys. Waleed, just seeing you now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening.
Thanks, Waleed, for joining. Yeah, I've just popped in the link in the chat for feedback form. That would be great if you can fill that in.
Yeah, sure. Immediately. Yeah. Thank you so much, Emilia. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, very nice to